What's going on, guys? My name's Alan, and welcome to a new series. This series is going to be about, it's going to be movie reviews, going to be game reviews, going to be even TV show reviews. I don't really know what to call it yet. I haven't thought that far into it yet, but if you guys have a cool idea for a name, it'd be great. I'm just going to call it Reviewed, because it's edgy. Not really, I don't know why I thought of Reviewed, but I did. But it's going to have various different reviews. The original idea of this kind of idea. I was gonna do every 2 weeks do a movie, a Blu-ray / DVD collection update, but I got bored of that idea. I don't think I could commit to that because I just didn't do it. I just don't really feel like it would be a good idea. I think it would be kind of sloppy. It wouldn't be really smooth, and I thought this idea would be better because I could talk about individual movies as opposed to several, and it just not be really good at all. But I don't know. It should be a lot better. It should flow a lot easier, and it should be good. So, really need to think of a name. And I'm also not sure if I should do this in vlog format or in commentary format. Just for this episode, it'll be commentary format. I'd rather do commentaries because it's just a little easier on me. I'm not really good with vlogs, but if you guys would rather see vlogs, think it would work better, I would definitely do that. But episode 1 is going to be about. It's going to be a review of In the Name of the Father, which is a movie starring Daniel Day-Lewis, and it's set in Northern Ireland and in London, and it's during the Troubles, which you don't know the Troubles were. It was a conflict between the English government and the IRA, which is the Irish Republican Army, and they're a terrorist group, and they were fighting for Northern Irish independence from England. So if you don't know, Northern Ireland is part of the English Empire, well, part of the United Kingdom, I should say. But this movie starts out, Daniel Day-Lewis's character, which his name is Jerry, and he's the character himself is just a real asshole. He's a real shithead. He just steals, he robs, he doesn't really hurt people, but he gets drunk and does stupid shit like that. And the entire first part of the movie is a riot, and this riot really sets the tone for the entire movie because it's in Belfast. It's just it's not really IRA. It's more civilians because Jerry's character. Jerry, which is Daniel Day-Lewis's character. He's messing around on a roof or whatever, and the government mistakes him for a sniper. They start firing at him, and the riot starts. And this sets the tone for the entire movie because it really lets you know how bad of a situation the Troubles were. Because they call in riot cops. They have shields. They have I want to say they have dogs, and that may be another part of the movie. But they do have essentially riot cops. We've all seen what they have: shields, tear gas, stuff like that. And it sets the tone for the movie. After that, though, Jerry and his friend Paul, which I'm not sure who plays Paul, but he and Jerry go off to London to live in a. Well, they go to. They tell their parent. Well, Jerry tells his parents that he's going to go see his aunt, who lives in Ireland. Who lives in London, I mean, and they end up going to a squat. And they go into a commune, bunch of hippies, and when they first walk in, there's this guy tearing off a board from the top floor of this building to put it in a fire to keep them warm. So it kind of sets the tone that they're poor. They don't care about property or anything. They just live in happy and peace. Hippie shit. But they after that, Jerry and Paul are walking around. There's a lot in between this. There's a couple newsreels about the IRA and stuff, but Jerry and Paul are kicked out because they have an argument. Well, they're not kicked out, but they leave. There's an argument between Jerry, Paul, and this other guy who he's English, but he blames what's his name? Oh my God! He blames Paul and Jerry for the bombings because there's a lot of bombings around this time too. And while they're out, there's a big bombing, and a lot of people are killed in it. I'm not really sure what the bar's name was, but people are bombed in it, people die, and Jerry and Paul, being Northern Irish, and the government and the police really, they could put one and one together and say this was the IRA who did this bombing. And since Paul and Jerry they're Northern Irish, they get blamed for it because this shithead gets in an argument with them, Jerry and Paul, and then after Jerry and Paul go back to Belfast, he calls the police, tells them that they were talking about the IRA, talking about you know, stuff like that. And he says a lot of words. I forget what he says. I forget what all he blames them for, but he says he kind of blames them for the bombing, and then cops come in to Jerry's house. They come and arrest the hippies. They arrest Jerry's aunt and his dad, which they're not part of this at all, but they get blamed for it because he happens to after Jerry should make this. This should be a lot better, and I should word this a lot better. I mean, after Jerry gets arrested, Jerry's dad comes to London and trying to help him fight the case or whatever, and he gets arrested, and they're in prison together. They're in jail, not prison. They're not in prison just yet. But during the trial, after they get convicted of the bombings, that right there made me so pissed. It really made me mad because it just, these guys didn't do it, because while the bombing happened, while the bar bombing is happening, you see Jerry and Paul, they go and rob this whore's house. So I mean they have an alibi for it, but I mean that's not really a good alibi because they're thieves. I mean it's just those two. I'm not really sure how I should word this, but it's just those two. No one else can vouch for them. But anyway, they get convicted. It made me really pissed off. And then then after that they're in prison. And I won't spoil a whole lot of it here and there. But eventually this lawyer, she's I forget her name. I think her name is actually I have no idea what her name is. I'm not really good with names in movies, but she believes they are innocent. She picks up her case, and it goes on from there. And then the end of the movie is such a good ending. I really loved it. It made me really happy, but at the same time mad. I won't spoil what happened, because the reason the movie is called In the Name of the Father is because he wants to fight for his father. And I won't say what happened to his father. I may have just kind of given you a hint at what he did, what happens to his father, but I mean, it's not kind of hard to tell. I mean, I called what was going to happen to his father when they were first in prison. Again, maybe I'm spoiling it, maybe I'm not saying it directly, but you can kind of figure out what I'm hinting at here. And that's why the movie's called In the Name of the Father, because he wants to fight this case because his father. But it's a really good movie, really sad movie. I don't tear up much during movies, but this movie I did. It was really sad. Daniel Day-Lewis was amazing in it. He played a really good guy, really good character, and I just love this fucking movie. It's available on Netflix. You can probably buy it on Amazon. I didn't. I haven't been able to see it anywhere in any movie store or anything, but I'm sure you could find it. Amazon, of course, but Netflix, I'm pretty sure we've all heard of Netflix. It's common. But again, Netflix has it too. Amazon. I'm just plugging stuff here. I'm great. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see more of this, please feel free to like the video. And I will not like the video. You can if you want, but I'm not saying you should. Feel free to comment if you have any suggestions, any topics, or any movies that you talk about, any reviews, or any whatever. If you have any suggestions, or you have any advice how I should improve this. This is kind of the first episode, so it's gonna be kind of awkward. But anyway, feel free to comment that stuff. Also, if you have a name for this series, it'd be great, because Reviewed, I don't like that name. I just kind of thought of it. But if you have a better idea, please feel free to share it. I'll give you credit, of course, and I will talk to you guys soon.